Monday show ever, man. And we have a very, very special guest. I'm a big fan. If you could
Uh,
kindly introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Gaia Guarda. I am a singer. I play in the male band Uriel, and I am a solo artist from Montreal.
You do a
Right
lot
on.
of with your solo stuff. I'll get right into that because I've seen more of that than your other music with the harp and stuff, right? And you have a few different harps, I gather, then, right?
Yeah, I at the moment I have two. I plan on getting more eventually. I have a
Yeah.
Celtic harp, and I have like a pink kind of tiny harp.
That's the one I was bugging you about earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you tune it up? Did you? Yeah.
I tried, but I'm so stupid. Like we opened the window because of it's spring, so like it's super warm. We're like,
Yeah.
oh, we're gonna open all the window, and everything got out of tune.
Oh
So
yeah,
like
the temperature change.
yeah, that was such a stupid thing to do, and like I was trying to tune it, and like I spaced out and like tuned it and not the right thing, and I was just like, okay, this is not happening. I'm
That's funny.
sorry.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good.
That's okay. It's just an excuse to have you back on the show, is all.
Yeah,
See,
right.
we work with things that happen.
No,
We figure out a way to work things out.
yeah.
Oh, I can't talk today either. Oh, this is going
No,
to be a good
we were
show.
talking a couple weeks back now. I guess it would be. You were saying something about maybe being able to perform here in Ontario in May or something.
I don't know. Like I would want to go to Ontario eventually when we were able like to play shows. I think for Quebec we're like reopening things at the end of this month. So I think on Friday, actually on Friday, not
Oh,
everything, but some venues are going to reopen.
hmm.
So we might start doing shows. I don't want to jinx it, but hopefully we can play soon. And I would love
Oh,
to come back to Ontario. Like the last time I played in Toronto and I played in Ottawa, and it was so much fun. And like the people over there are like really really funny, and I miss it.
oh yes,
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
definitely. Where in Toronto did you play?
Sneaky D's, I think it was
Oh yeah,
called.
Oh, what
that's
a
a
Yeah.
great venue.
fantastic venue. And they have
Yeah.
the best nachos ever.
Are they
I
still
Yeah,
didn't get to
open?
eat. I
yeah.
think so. From what I oh no, I think they closed.
Like I know they
They're
shut
trying to
down for the lockdown, but I know
Yeah.
the Toronto's really suffered hard with their venues over all this. I
Yeah.
imagine in Quebec as well, right? Like,
Yeah, we have places that have been around for like so long that they're like they might shut down, which I really hope is not happening. But like it's been really 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 rough here for Quebec too. Yeah.
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, it's been
it
brutal.
seems
I
like we're too. Go ahead,
go.
TJ.
No, no, you go ahead, Amanda.
I actually have two things to say. Here I'm going. I don't have nothing to say tonight. I have lots to say.
Yeah.
So as far as Sneaky D's goes, I had seen that there was something online about trying to save it from real estate for gentrification.
Hmm.
Um, I don't really know what's going on. I didn't open the article or anything. Maybe I should have, but I didn't open the article or anything. It just hurt me too much to read it because like they've, Sneaky D's is a staple. Um, and I lost the other thing. Oh, the other
That's all
thing
good.
was no, I got it. The other thing was, I think, as far as like lockdowns and the way things are going, Ontario and Quebec seem to have been hit the hardest. Now,
Yeah.
granted, I know there's lots more people here and all that stuff, but it seems like along, not necessarily along with the rules that we have, but the rules are kind of getting put down on us a little bit harder than the rest of the country. And
I would
maybe,
say
Hmm.
maybe, I don't know. I might be wrong. I
I
might not
got
be.
a few friends that are moving to Halifax here shortly. Actually, Anna and Leonardo, my friends
Yeah.
from Russia who were on the show there last year with me, nice enough to have me right in their house, cooked me dinner. We did the live show, right? Fuck, that was amazing. But they're heading out there because of the restrictions. They're way less or whatever, so they're doing their swabs and then up and moving there, right? It's like, whoa.
Heading out, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, we're living in a a strange time, I suppose, which I guess could lead me into a question.
Yes.
Since all of this lockdown shit's been happening, I have no filter on my mouth. I apologize in advance.
It's okay. I don't have any.
No.
Good. Well, in that case, since all this shit's been happening with this lockdown, I don't really like to focus on all the negative crap that's going on because I myself have been doing really well over the last year and a bit. So, how's it helped you?
Oh man. So like when the lockdown started, I got laid off from my work for like a few months because there was like nobody, there was like no customer, no nothing. But for me that was like a really really good thing because I ended up like being able to do a crowdfunding for my album because I was like at the final stages, but I was struggling so much with money that I didn't know what to do, and I was like trying to figure out ways to like release my album by myself. So like at the end of March last year, so it would be like next week on Monday, I launched my crowdfunding for like 35 days, and we reached around like $4,500, which was exactly what I needed to finish the album. So like for me, it's been really really good. I know it's been like really hard for a lot of people, but for me it's been really good, and like it made me kind of have a preview of what it would be to be doing music full time. Even if it was just a few months, then I went back to work, but it was a good year for me. Like I released my album by myself. Like I got my new harp. I've been working on new music. I met a lot of people. I started working with pure people that I've never met before. Like it was a good year.
Oh, I'm happy to hear that. That's awesome.
That's
awesome.
I gotta say too, like this year, especially since Amanda and I met, like dealing with the show and putting more time and more effort and building it really quickly. Fuck, I couldn't have asked for a better time, really, because I was always just driving to people and fucking interviewing them, right? How do I do it now with everything that's happening? And then when we met, brainstorming and shit, poof, Restream it was, and then here we are. We finally got you on the show, you know. Excited.
Yeah, it's definitely been interesting to figure out how to adapt being in this industry. Hang on, I'm going to say something else before I continue on that. TJ, are you watching the
I'm doing that right now.
Okay, good, because we're using my phone, and my kid has my other phone, and my laptop is not anywhere near me.
That's cool. That's cool. We got her checking now.
But yeah, like this, I have to say that Restream's. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, a lot of people use Zoom. And then I just don't like Zoom. I tried it a few times. I've tried Skype. Nothing really worked. Yeah,
I like the Restream. Definitely.
Hey, Maximum says hello.
Oh, nice.
Okay, okay, I was able to finally share it. I was like, oh, why don't you share this? That would probably be helpful.
Oh yeah. You want me to send you a link?
I got it. I'm just gonna put them on my pages too. There you go.
Now you know Maximilian there. I always call him Maximilian now, right? You know him? Have you worked with him before then, or?
No, he's like I said, like this year I feel like it's been a lot of like meeting new people and like talking with a lot of people that I've never met in this scene or like never met in other scenes too, like Ontario scene a lot too. But he's like one of the new people that I've seen starting working in our scene, and like I've never met him, but we've talked a bunch of times. He's a really cool dude.
Yeah, I've never met him in person, but when I first started talking to one of the bands he works with, who are they? Give me a sec. Dead Man's Prophecy, and then he led us into another band, was Last Dance Amongst Wolves. I believe I said that properly. And then we finally said, "Fuck it, you come on the show now, man. You already done so much for us here, right? Like, let's give you a little shout out, right?"
He was fun to have on the show, definitely.
Yeah, we celebrated 1,500. And then we doubled now, so.
Well, we haven't quite doubled, but we've jumped another 100 and something. That's for sure.
Yeah. So
So yeah. So go
there it
ahead.
goes. Oh, I was just checking the comments and stuff. My tablet's not working at super high speed, so
Wow, we're really not coordinated today.
nah, it's Monday,
It's
right?
Monday.
So with your other band there, you guys have been together for a bit now, then, have you not? Then, or
Yeah, so the band has been around for like 12 years. I've
hmm
been the
I
band
didn't want
for
to
8
say
years.
nothing, but yeah.
Yeah. So it's been a while. Like I actually, like, I think it's like 2 or 3 weeks ago. Like it was my anniversary with them.
Oh wow, eh?
Yeah, but yeah, it's been 8 years, and we've released 2 albums since I've been with them. Yeah, 2 albums.
Yeah. Have you guys
Nice.
done any touring yet, or anybody? Like, have you gone on any
Um,
exclusive tours and stuff with them, or?
We've done like really small tours, so like mostly
Yeah.
like in Quebec. We've done a few dates in Ontario. We were like starting to get a little bit bigger before the pandemic, so it kind
hmm
of slowed us down a lot. Like we were supposed to
mm
open for Rhapsody of Fire, and like that show got moved, so we don't know what's gonna happen. And like yeah, it's been kind of paused, I would say, because even like we can't even use like we have a rehearsal space here, and like it's been closed for us for like
Yeah.
I think like 6 months. Like we can't even practice. Like I haven't seen my bandmates in like months and months, and like it's been rough.
Oh wow,
Wow.
eh?
Yeah. Um,
I've heard that from every band, like even here in
Yeah.
Ontario, and then it's really the southern bands like fucking Thy Enemy, and we just had them
Cauterized.
cauterized on the show there on the weekend. Fucking,
Yeah.
they're just now being able to play together and kind of rehearse and all
mhm.
that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
So
for us, like they have a limits of like 2 people, but we're 6. So
Yeah, you got a
I
full
mean,
band, right? Like,
yeah, we're a lot of people, so like we not being able to have access to our local and like being able like to practice but with
yeah.
everybody like makes it like really hard. Like I can't really just go and like practice with the bassist. Like it won't be like
right.
as the same feeling as having like the full band. Like we're a lot of
hmm
instruments. Like we have cello, we have violin. So like, oh.
Yeah. How have you guys adapted to that? Like how do you guys do it since it's the way it is right now?
Yeah, to be honest, we haven't really adapted much.
Yeah.
We haven't
Yeah.
been playing until I think it was like October or like November. We could practice. So like during that time, we were like working on new songs. We were like trying to adapt to. We wanted to make like acoustic version of our previous album, but since they kind of like limit us to have access to the to our local, like we just like kind of stopped. I still like I had so much work with my album that for me that was kind of like a good timing. Like I was able like to
Mhm.
release my album by myself and like do all the promotion and like not have like to on top of that have to think about the band. So it
Hmm.
was like a good timing for me. But I think next month there were like rumors that they were going to open everything. So let's hope I have access to my local and I can finally
Uh,
see my bandmates.
yeah, right.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Now, do you find it hard to go from the vocal styles of singing with your band and stuff, and then to jump into your solo, and where you're playing the harp and you're singing like a total different, like,
Yeah, a little bit, I would say. Especially because like with my band, I use classical vocals and I use like more like pop vocals that would be
hmm
more like that would sound a little bit more like my soul project. But also like I have two of my bandmates on my album too, so it made it kind of like the transition kind of easier because we work on both albums together. But no, I can say that I was kind of scared when I was about to release the album though, because like my fans have been only seeing like the male side of me, and I was like,
yeah,
okay, I come with this album that's like nothing. You can't really compare those two genres. Like they're so different. I don't have screams, I don't have like blast beat, I don't have anything on my album. It's more like electronic music. So I'm just like, ooh, I don't know how people are going to receive it. But yeah, I was terrified.
yeah, a
But
little nerve wracking, eh?
yeah, I was like, especially when it's like your first official solo album, and you're just like, okay, well, I'm launching this into the world, and I hope that nobody shits on me.
Yeah, yeah. I hear you. I've been sitting on a single. I believe I sent it. I'm not sure if I did send it over to you yet or not. I think I did, but I've been sitting on it for almost a year now, and I have everything else done and ready too. I just haven't put it out there yet. It's like I'm like you.
stressing.
I'm really nervous about putting myself out there in that form. Like, here's something different. I can talk all day long with the best of them, right? But to sit there and
Hey,
jam and
Ryan.
actually show your music to people that are music critics. Everyone's a music critic, right? So it's like
Yeah. It's stressful, especially like like I hired someone to do my PR, and like I've never done that before, and I like that person like Curtis do work like he works mostly with bands and with metal bands, so I'm just like, are you sure you're gonna be able like to do the promotion with this, because this is not metal? It's like, well,
Mhm.
you have your metal band, and you also have the original drummer of Evanescence on your album, so like I'm gonna use that to sell you to other, like, to websites to have like reviews. And but it was really well received, except one person that was really angry that it wasn't Mel. But I was just like, okay, that's okay. The rest of the people liked it.
Yeah,
Okay, I
that's
have a new
awesome,
question.
though.
I have a new question. How did you end up? How did you end up connecting with Evanescence's original drummer?
So I
Good
don't know if
question.
you guys know Lindsay Schoolcraft for sure. Like everybody knows
Yes,
her. Like she's
Yeah.
yes.
yeah, she's a big star. So
Yeah,
like we've
She
been
a
did
buddy of
very
mine's
well.
really
Yes,
good
yes.
friends with her. Yeah,
Yeah, so we've been friends for a long time, like maybe like
nice.
12 or 13 years before she joined Krill. Like we were a good friend before she helped me pick up my harp. So
Nice.
like when I was like struggling with okay, so what happens that I was signed on the label, and things were not going really well with that label, and they were like being really bitchy. They were being
On
really
the
mean to
road too
me.
long, right?
Yeah, it was like really bad, and like I was feeling really frustrated because like I had been working on the album for like 2 years at the time, and like nothing was happening, and they were always like trying like to limit my musical kind of vision, like they were trying to limit it. And
I
like
understand now.
I was supposed to go to Europe to record my vocals, and then till things fell through, and I was just like, I don't know what to do. Like I've been working on this for so long, and they pressure me a lot, and like now I have this thing that it's blocked. Like it was blocked for a year, and like I didn't know what to do. And she ended up like telling me, well, if you want, you can come to my house, and like you can record with my producer, and like we can figure out like a schedule that works for you. And I was like, yeah, would be amazing. So like I ended up going to her place. I think I went like 2 or 3 times, and the first time I went there, like I did half my album, half the vocals, and we were like listening to the songs, and she was like, you know who would probably like love to work on your album? I'm just like, who? She's like, Rocky, like the original drummer of
Yeah,
Evanescence, like
right.
that, because like she wrote her album with him. I was like, really? I mean, like it's so far from Mel, like it's so far from any rock music. And she's like, yeah, I think he would probably be really interested in like working on that. And so she ended up like calling him, and they did the talk, and then she sent me his email. She was like, okay, just email him like all your information, all the songs, so you can listen to it and see if he wants to work on it. And he ended up like being down to work on it, and like we did like all the drums on the album, and he made it like was like here, and with him it was like here, like
It just
like the
brought
level
you
was
right up,
like, yeah,
right?
exactly. Like there was a few songs that was just like, well, I think they were like okay, and when like he put his magic touch and listened to the song after, it was like, whoa, okay, this is something else. Like this is way better than what I had in mind. And like he's a very talented dude, and like I so lucky that he was like down to work on my music.
No, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty
Well,
fantastic. Right on.
since I'm looking at this stupid thing here now, keeping track of this, Kevin over there at Kevin Jewelry, I believe Instagram Kevin makes jewelry. Could be wrong.
Yep.
He says hello. He says we
Hi.
rock. Allison's saying hi, right? Obviously Maximum's watching, right?
Yeah,
Friend
right
Esther from
on.
Mexico is watching.
Right
It's
on.
super slow though. I figured I'd throw that out while we're just kind of
Yeah.
chilling there, right?
Yeah,
Let
the
me answer
Facebook feed
everybody.
is a couple of minutes
Yeah,
behind, so
Okay.
yeah.
but
But
right on.
we got a shout out too from Midnight Trouble, I believe. They're a band. They're going to be on the show next week. I
Nice.
think it's Midnight Trouble. She just said hello. That's
Right
Roxanne,
on.
by the way. And then I was actually talking to Your Last Wish,
Yeah,
the band
yeah.
members. Dave and Roxanne and all them.
Roxana, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I know
yeah,
them.
yeah. They're pretty awesome. I was up there last time I was up actually in Montreal. I come to meet Empire de Moore with Anna, I believe her name is. I could be very wrong.
Ariana, Ariane.
Ariana, that's
Yeah,
correct, right?
yeah,
And then
yeah. She used to
her.
sing for my band.
Oh
She was
no way,
the
that's
singer.
crazy.
Yeah, yeah. She was the singer before me.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, eh? Fucking, she's a very good singer as well, man.
She's
That concept
excellent.
album they just did, right? And I
Yeah,
forget
she's
where
a
I
really
was
good
going. Oh
singer.
yeah, so
Yeah.
Dave ended up coming down, having some beers with us, popping on the show that night, and then her friend from I'm gonna say this totally wrong, D Skins, I think it is. It's a weird
Doesn't matter.
pronunciation. They're dark metal from northern Quebec. Well, he
Mhm.
dropped down, so we had a triple header that night, actually. So, but my next question, it's not more or less a question. Tell us more about your new album, though, your solo album that you just put out and stuff. Like,
Yeah, so it's a dark wave, neoclassical dark wave. Very
mhm.
specific. I did my research just to make sure that it was like the right genre like to describe it.
Mhm.
So like I released it by myself on November 6th, so it's been out for like a few months, 4 months about. It was all self-produced. I had the same producer as Lindsay, so Tyler Williams from Monolithic. I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right. Production. He's a really, 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 really talented producer. So we work on that album with me. It was released, like I said, by myself. It's available on Bandcamp. It's available on my website. It's Gaia Guarda Store. Super easy to remember if you remember my name, which
Well,
sometimes people have trouble with my last name. I mean,
oh yes, yes. I make a point of allowing the guests to introduce themselves because I'm
yeah,
very dyslexic myself, and then even to try and pronounce the word I can't even fucking read anyways makes it very awkward. So it's like,
I get that.
hey, yeah. I know people, I just don't know their names.
Yeah,
But I know your name because we've talked for shit. It's almost been a year now. We've shot the
I
shit online,
think
just
so.
give or
Yeah, I think
take,
it's been
right?
a year. Yeah,
Yeah.
around that.
I
Maybe like 11 months, just to be more precise.
Yeah, give or take, right? I finally was like, I kind of bugger to have her on the show, man. Like, been watching your music, watching you do your live stuff with the harp and stuff, and then your little bathtub blogs. Well, it reminded me of doing my car blogs in the morning on my way to work. I'd get to work at like 5 in the morning and go live in my car for fucking 10 minutes, right? Let people know what's happening.
But yeah, so my album is out.
Yes, yes. It's We'll
So,
send us the links and stuff when we're all done, and we'll get them up. Like when we're done, we'll edit the title of the page and stuff, right, or
yes,
the post here, right, and make sure
that's
your
what I have to
links
do
are all
for
in there for you.
yesterday's
Mhm.
show. Oops.
Yeah.
Um, yes, I'll definitely update it. I have yesterday's show to update as
Yeah.
well.
I'm gonna turn this
Um,
light on. I'll be right back while you ask this question.
okay, awesome. So, what got you into music? What's your first, like, what's the very first thing you ever remember about music that made you go, "Hey, I want to do this"?
I really, really like him. My dad is a musician too. So like I grew up with my dad is a classical trained musician. So I grew up with like him like playing piano and like having me like trying to do scales and like trying like to repeat the notes I was playing, like trying to figure out what it was when I was like really, really, really little. So and then like I went to like the phase of like being a teenager and like hating everything about music and like not wanting to do the same thing as my dad and just being like, no, I'm gonna be my own person, so I'm gonna do everything else that you don't want me to do. And then eventually I went back into like the idea of like being a musician, and I ended up like going to a school for classical singing. I was like, oh, I'm going to be an opera singer. And then like I started school, I was like, I hate this. This is not what I want to do. Like I want to be myself. I don't want to have like to, you know, like in classical music, you have to fit into like a specific box. And if you're around outside of the box, they don't like you. They really don't like you. So if you have tattoos and you have like a look that's a little bit different, they don't like it. So like for me, it was like I felt like I didn't really fit in, and I was like, okay, well, I got the training that I wanted for my voice. Now I'm gonna try to do something else because I want to be able to express myself, and I don't think this is something that I will be able to do with classical music. So then like I had like a few bands I really like in Mill, and so I started like trying to sing in different bands. Like I was in the band for like a year and a half, and then they kicked me out. I was like, well, I guess I won't be in a band then because it's a lot of work, and then people can just kick you out, and you're just like, fuck, well, what now? And so like I decided I didn't want to be in a band anymore, and like I was doing my own thing. I was like working on electronic music, and then I had my cellist that was looking for someone to play a few shows with them because like they had like something happen, and like Ariane, she left. So they needed someone to replace her for like a few shows, and they asked me. I was like, okay, but I am not joining the band. Like this is not something that I want. I don't want to be like near any band. I don't want to have like to put the effort on anything. They were like, no, it's just a few shows. And then like that was like I had 2 weeks to learn the entire set. It was really hard. I was not ready. We played a show, and I had so much fun, and like the band was so much fun, and like people, like my bandmates, they were like so amazing and like so welcoming, and like no judgment, and like they were not the kind of people that were like trying like to like to make things difficult. Like they're very, very generous people and very understanding people, and like they were like, "Do you want to join the band?" I was just like, "Yeah." No hesitation. I was like,
no
oh
questions there.
yeah, exactly. Sometimes when it's the right fit, you just know. And like I started like going to rehearsal with them, and like we bonded a lot. Like my cellist, she's one of my best friend, and like all of them, they're most of my best friend. Like I love them all. And then I just started doing music with them, and eventually I was like, well, I do want to do my own thing because I have like this side of myself that really love metal, but I also have this side of myself that really love electronic music, and I want to be able to express myself in that area too. And I want to be able like to, when you have a band, you kind of have like to adapt to other people. Like it's normal. Like it's you go with their vision, and like you try like to help them bring the music where they want to go. But when you have your own project, you can do whatever you want. Like nobody's going to try to tell you what to do. And like for me, that was something that I really wanted to try. And so I did that. That was a long explanation. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good, man. It's all good.
That's what we want. That's what we want to hear. We want to hear all the stuff that nobody knows or that you don't normally talk about or anything like that. Is there anything you want people to know that people don't already know about you?
I have a lot of plans.
Go on.
Green thumb.
I really don't know. Like I feel like I'm someone that's really open with people. Like I tell a lot of things, and like I'm pretty there when it comes like to my posts, and like when it comes to like talking to people, and I'm really honest with them. So like I feel like they know me pretty well. Even like my boyfriend, like when we met, was like, well, we've known each other for a long time on Facebook, and like when he met me, he was just like, oh, you're exactly the same way that I was.
No surprises, eh?
Yeah, was like, oh, okay.
I know, I'm the same way.
Yeah, and I like that. I like people that are like honest, and like people that are like just they don't give a fuck. That those are the people that I like.
Yeah.
Yeah, no bullshit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I know I'm too busy for. I'm always on the go. I sleep like 4 to 5 hours a night, and I'm always up to something, and I'm the same way. I have no time for bullshit. So it's just here's everything. Here I am. Take it or leave it. But I got shit to do. So
My first question is, do you have a passport? They're all like, what? Like, I travel a lot. You better have a passport, right? Like, you better be willing to go, man, because I leave on a whim, man. Like, I don't know. I've always traveled. My very first band I interviewed, I didn't even think they were going to say yes, is a No Paradise out of Arizona, man. Next thing I know, how am I going to do this? Well, I fucking booked a week off work. Took me 32 days to do all the tour that I fucking ended up doing, right? But
notice he said he only booked a week off work.
Yeah, my boss called me 2 weeks to the day I left.
32 days.
32 days it took me, man. Over 11,000 miles, give or take, right? I went 3 different countries. Fucking, it was great. My boss calls me 2 weeks to the day I left. He's like, "So, you coming into work on Monday?" I'm like, "No, bud, I'm in Mexico." I thought you were just going to Arizona. It's like, it's right there though, bud. Like, I'll call you later, right? So I ended up cruising all the way through like Alabama, Mississippi. I went all back home to Georgia for a couple days, spent some time up in fucking Athens there in the college country. It's funny, I'm sitting at the bar and the college kids, all college university there, right? So this guy comes up to me. I'm talking to whoever about our degrees. I went to college, actually, there, or university, sorry. And he's like, "You guys, $5 to enter the drinking game." I'm like, "I'm Canadian." He's like, "You're not allowed to play." Who wasn't allowed to play, right? So I just sat and drank by myself, right? But fuck, that was a great tour, man. I went up to Virginia for a bit, spent some time there, and then it was 12 hours home or 18 hours to my parents' place. So I was like, I'll go see my parents. I fucking went out to New Brunswick, seen them, not realizing it's a 2-day drive from their place to back home to even get to work, right? Like, it's like, thank God.
Oops.
Shout out to Space Age. Thanks for allowing me to come back to work and shit after all that, right? They're pretty understanding with the show, though, right? So.
Yeah, I'd say understanding is an understatement right now.
Yeah,
I mean, they work you like a dog, but like they give us the time and opportunity to do what we need, and they've helped us a lot get to the point we're at. So.
No, they've definitely been supportive.
Yeah, definitely
and stuff,
shout
right?
out to them. Yeah, they've been fantastic.
58 hours last week and 4 days I put in, right? So
Jesus.
Yeah, that's why I only work 4-day weeks, right? It's like, fuck that. I'm not working 6. Fuck you, man. I got other shit to do. Don't got time for this. Yeah.
Craziness. So where can we find all your stuff? Where can we find all your music, your merch, all your like the bands that you're in, all the different projects that you're up to? Give us everything you got.
Oh yeah, so you can find us on that.
You gonna make it, TJ?
I did. I almost spit it out my nose. That was close. It's been a long day.
Sorry. Go on.
It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah. Okay, so for my band, the album or latest album is called Multiverse. Multiverse by Uriel. It's the name of the band. It's available on Bandcamp.
Yes.
Just like Bandcamp. urielmetal.bandcamp.com. I'm probably gonna send you the link after. The album is there. It's also like on YouTube, on Spotify, on every like streaming platform. It's everywhere. My album is available on Bandcamp too. You just have like to Google my name. So just go on Bandcamp and enter my name, Guarda. Or you can go on my store, which is way better for me because like they don't take any all the profit goes to myself. So it's better to go on my site. I mean,
I hear you.
That's the link we'll post.
Yeah, we'll put that right up first. Boof.
Yeah, that's the link we'll use for sure.
Yeah, so it's GaiaGuardastore.com. So it's pretty easy to remember. It's my name with store.
Okay, perfect.
I will be able, when we meet in person, because I am coming to Montreal here once the world opens up and shit. But fucking, I will be able to pronounce your name properly.
Yeah, it's Guarda.
I'm not even gonna try live on air, man, because it's all I'll hear about.
Usually, English-speaking people would say Gorda, Garda, Gorda, yeah,
Oh,
Gorda.
yeah.
Yeah, and like I've been so used to hear people say my name that way in English that I started pronouncing that way too. I was like, wait a second, this is not how my name is supposed to be pronounced.
Yeah, no, right? Relearn how to say it,
Yeah. Yeah, nobody ever pronounces my last name properly either, so
No.
I can identify.
You're lucky
with
I got
that.
your first name.
Yeah, my last name is Schills.
How do you?
It's Schills. It's a Prussian name.
Schills?
It's like before Germany. But
Okay.
it's SCHILZ, and everybody pronounces it Skills or Schillets or whatever, not Shills. I fucking hate it. I fucking hate it so much.
I heard like my manager, she forget everybody last name all the time. So like I've been La Guardia, I've been Guardia, I've been like all the variation of my last name that you can imagine. Like she's done it.
Yeah. Yeah, like some people it's fine because like there's barriers on not being able to say my name properly, but other people it's like just fucking learn how to say my name.
I try every time I come to your house. I try to pronounce it.
Never happens.
No.
Never happens. So all
I've
right,
been
okay,
hit
you
in the
guys.
head too many times.
Yeah. Not by me yet, though.
No,
Okay.
not yet.
You guys talk for a second. I have to run and pee.
Yeah.
No bullshit. There you go.
Do you have any questions for us while you're on the show?
Yeah. So like, how long is that? I guess now is it like still called a podcast or is it more like a video thing? Like, how long have you had it?
I've always called it a podcast just because I'm a big fan of Joe Rogan and I watched him from when he started in his little booth to where he is now and shit. And then, so it originally started with me making guns and bullets back home with my cousin, redneck shit, shooting, hunting and stuff, right? And then eventually it morphed in. I've always traveled ever since I was 14 when I was first sent away. Fuck off I went, right? And never looked back. But I flew back from, I think I was working for the railroad at that time. So I would have been in Wisconsin doing my schooling. And I flew back for a concert with some really good friends of mine, Tammy and Boog, to give them a little shout out. And Tammy said, "Why don't you turn your fucking podcast thing or what?" Everyone's always joked about it, laughed at me about it, right? But I'm like, "Fuck you, I'm doing it," right? But she's like, "Why don't you do it on music?" We went to 52 shows that year, right? And then I was like, "You're right. We could get backstage with this shit maybe one day, right?" And about a year and a half ago, I started doing it serious, and that's when I got my first technically real interview with No Paradise down in Arizona, and I never looked back. And then right after them was Your Last Wish, right? And then we had Empire de More on the show. Now we have yourself. We had Dead Man's Prophecy. I've had a friend of mine, Danica from West Virginia. That's where I stayed for a bit when I was on my road tour. She's doing stand-up comedian and does music kind of on the side, right? I've always bugged her to sing. She can sing fuck amazing, right? And then we had Last Dance Amongst Wolves, and then we actually had David from Svengali on the show. We just had Johnny No Cash, right? Cauterized, and it's been a snowball, and really a large part of it has been since I met Amanda. Because actually, I'll tell this on the air.
You came back right at a good moment.
I would talk to her.
That all depends on what he says, though.
She says when I showed up in Montreal, all I had was my phone. Like that was it. I had a couple lights. She was like, that wasn't very professional. And that stuck in my head coming from her. I respect her, the musician that she is and where she is today and stuff, right? And it was like, how do I make it better? Maybe a co-host, bounce ideas. How do we get more money into the situation and get some more cameras, more equipment, this and that? And when I first called Amanda, this is how all this started here and how you're on the show today and how it's been rolling lately, right? Is I wanted to do an
It's not my
interview with
fault.
her about her fucking her book. Sorry, I almost slipped on that one. Her book that she does behind the scenes on bands. So she'll take 15 bands and put a little couple pages of each band on write up and stuff in her magazine. And I really liked that. And when we got talking, she's like, I do it all for free. I'm like, I do all my shit for free. I'm not charging nobody for this. If someone wants to pay me to do this, I'm cool with that. But, I'm not going to be like, you owe me this much money because you were on the show. Fuck that shit, man. I just want to make friends and be backstage and party with rock stars, right? And then we talked for what, about 3-4 months before I finally met you in person, Amanda?
No.
How long?
2 months.
2
Maybe.
months. Okay, I'm very bad
Not
with
even.
time.
I met you at like
Yeah.
the middle of October. You requested me on Facebook, and December 5th, all this chaos started. And here we are.
Not even chaos.
Oh, what do you mean it's not even chaos? You messaged me at 5:30 in the morning for dates.
Yeah. Hey, I need dates. Well, we've had a lot of UK. We've just had Dave from over in the UK there with his band. I'm sorry, fucking so many bands. That's correct. Thank you. That's why I have a co-host. Thank God. But UK, Australia, and stuff. So while I'm talking to the bands and shit, she does all the scheduling and then runs behind the scenes when we're doing this. Least I could do is communicate with everybody, make sure the bands are cool, what time zone they in, and try and organize all that, right? And here we are today. We work out all right,
especially with Australia. Like, it's so hard to schedule them. It's always like I think they're a day ahead. If I'm not mistaken.
They are ahead 12 hours.
12-hour. I say there's a 12-hour difference.
Give or take, depending on the continent where they are, right?
It's still 12 hours, right? So
yeah.
Even with Cauterize, they're an hour behind us, and it was like I said 7, so they thought 7 their time, right? And now we're trying to rush it.
I'm just like Eastern time, just to make sure that they understand.
Mm-hmm.
I had been doing like a live stream on Instagram, and like I had 2 guests that were like from Australia, and like it was hard to book them. Like there was one time because I usually did it. I would do my live stream on Friday noon, like our time, and then I had like one of my guests was like, oh yeah, that's good. It's just like that's 4 a.m. for me. And she's like, are you sure you want to do this? I mean, like, it's pretty early, like, to be on the live stream on Instagram. It's like, oh yeah,
right.
Do it.
That's all right. Hey, my stepdad Doug's watching.
Right on. My cat's sitting next to me watching too.
Yeah. He's all the way in New Brunswick. I know the place I live now. They got 2 dogs, and they follow me around everywhere. They live in my room now. The one dog sleeps on the floor because he's too little to jump on the bed, right? The big guy just takes the whole bed up. He's like 210 pounds or something, right?
Oh.
Wake up, just boil a sweat to the fucking dog pumping heat off, right?
Yeah, no, mine, since she just went like through surgery last week, she's been sleeping a lot. And like I don't think her snoring has been like that bad before. Like she always been like a snorer, like a really intense snorer.
Yeah.
But like it's been pretty intensely. Yeah.
Do you have any other questions, Amanda? Or as you're asking a question, yeah.
Which was, is there anything else? Like we're coming up close to our it's that time mark. We got somewhere around 15 minutes or so left. Is there anything else that you want anybody to know? Is there any shout outs you want to give? Any people that you've been working with that people should know about? Any pages to check out? Food that you've eaten that you enjoy? Local restaurant? Anything.
Give us the goods.
The good shit.
This is how I plan my trips from now on. I listen to what you guys have to say, and I'll plan my trips that way.
Yeah.
So,
Wow, restaurant. They're all closed, so it's kind of like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jesus. Yeah, you put me on the spot there.
Way to go, Amanda.
I want to say hi to my mom.
see, I didn't put her on the spot. She remembered to say hi to her mom.
Yeah. You always gotta say hi. Hey, Mom.
My mom and my dad. Hi. I don't think they're watching, but still, just in case they're watching.
Just in case, right?
Yeah, so shout out. Okay, I'm gonna go with my PR guy, Curtis Dewart. Amazing dude. If you guys have like mail project or anything, like he's the guy to do your PR. Is really, really, really good. We're actually doing like a PR challenge with a bunch of people right now, and like it's really, really fun. Like we gathered like 70 musicians from like all over the world, and like we're doing like it's like every 13 days we're having like a lesson, but I think the sign up is done now, but it's pretty, really good. So like
Cool.
he's a big information machine. Like you have any question or like any marketing idea, he's always like pretty good at it. Like he's really good. Shout out to Mincy Schoolcraft because she's amazing, and like she needs more people to know that she's amazing. Even everybody knows that she's amazing.
Hey, you're amazing. Don't ever forget
No,
that.
she
right?
absolutely is. Every time Russ and I are together, my friend Russell, every time he and I are together, she's on. So I guess the two of them are friends, and her music is pretty amazing. So
Yeah, she's an amazing artist, and like she's a very inspiring person, and she's funny. Like she sent me a picture of her fish like last week. But
right on, that's awesome.
yeah, I don't think I have any other things I want to shout out.
Oh, that's perfect.
Right on.
That's great.
Awesome. Well, thank you for this evening. It's definitely been a grand interview. For sure.
I hope
Thank
I
you
wasn't
for
too
coming
much
on.
of a fanboy and got some real questions out and stuff, right?
Well, you didn't puke on your shoes. You did fine.
No, I did all right, right?
Thank you for having me. This has been really fun and like really no bullshit. Like I love this.
No,
Yeah,
this is how we roll here, right? And I've always been, and Amanda agrees with me. We accommodate to the people, man. Like we're people,
sure.
people.
We try to.
Can't even say that.
I'll take that
people,
one.
people,
I'll take
right?
that one.
Like, yeah. You go
so
ahead.
we try to be as social as possible and as comfortable as possible. I mean, the more real we are, the easier it is for people to go, yeah, man, I'll come on the show, whatever. We always have a good time. You know, everybody has a good time. It's just about shooting the shit and enjoying ourselves. And we're really trying to make sure that we keep people's interests up and keep as many musicians that are still going, because I mean, it's difficult right now. Yeah, and it's difficult right now.
You know, an hour and a half.
Yeah, the thing is, like, we're nothing without the support of fans or without the support of like people like you, like doing podcasts and like raising awareness about like the music and like all the things that we're doing. Like I'm grateful, and I know a lot of musicians are grateful too, if not all of them.
No, I know, right? But
we're certainly grateful that you guys are taking the time
100%.
to come on the show and spend time with us and let us know what you're up to. Because, like I said, I know it's difficult right now. You know, a lot of people's motivation isn't where it should be. You know, could be, I should say. Well, should be, because you know we should be in a totally different position right now.
It's no different than getting into a pit. You know, someone falls down, you pick them up. That's what we're supposed to be here for, right?
Exactly.
And I can't be in a pit, so at least I could do is give the bands a spot like yourself, is somewhere to spread your word, spread the music, get it out there, right? Like then when the world explodes, I'll be back in that pit.
We'll be on top of things when everything opens up, because you know everybody will know us. We'll be ready to go, and you know we'll be able to really bring it to the table with you guys. I mean, we're sitting on the edge of our seats waiting. When the world opens up,
my first trip is definitely Montreal. I've already told quite a few people I'm on my way up as soon as the world opens. So we have that. And then I'm flying down to Texas probably for that Cauterize show, man. That's stuck in my brain. But
My
we'll see.
my girls certainly want to do some traveling, and my car should be here in the next couple of weeks. So
It's cheaper to fly right now with gas prices.
yeah, I know.
You
But
can't,
on the
you
same
can't even
token,
drive across the border, right? Like,
yeah, I know. But I got some homeschooling to do, and I still have some
Mhm.
parts of our country that I need to visit before I can head to
No.
another one.
See, that's where I got the bonus. I'm dual citizen. I'm American and U.S. or like American and U.S. American and Canadian. Yeah, I'm working on it, man.
This is why he
So
has
I
a
can
co-host.
like, yeah, exactly, right.
Oh, fucking TJ.
But so I've always been able to jump back and forth, right? That's why I've always just traveled so much. Like I've been to 48 states and a couple provinces now, but overseas once, a couple times actually down to Cuba, right? And I can't wait to go to
I've
Puerto
gone from here
Rico,
to
give a shout out
Newfoundland.
to my boys down there.
That should
I'm
be
coming to
fun.
see you, right?
So, but all right. Well, on that note, let's head out of here while we're still chatting.
All right. If
And
you got a sec, we'll chill backstage. We got a couple of
yeah,
things we got to just run by you real quick, and
Yeah,
then
of course.
you can go on your
yeah.
way.
So we'll see everybody on Wednesday. Thanks, guys.
Play